whom we lost a year back, but the legacy continues in form of Mrs. Mahalakshmi, and we have 3 generations present here today who are driving this Vel Tech University to greater heights. We are here today in June 2025, and these are very unprecedented times for all countries in the world. You know, these are various wars going on. We already had our mission Sindoor. In the times of uncertain geopolitical situation, there are certain bright spots as far as our country like India stands. We are most populous nation on the planet Earth. So while we have so many minds, at the same time we have million of problems. If you go from east to west, north to south, variety of problems. Many pockets of our country are devoid of basic needs, whether it's a health, hygiene, education, connectivity in terms of roads, and also from the perspective of access to energy. We have the largest talent pool in terms of the quality manpower or technical manpower. We are churning out various technical institution and S&T infrastructure we have created and built up over the years. We as a country spent only 0.68% of GDP on the research. And if currently we are today 4th largest economy and we aspire to be a Viksit Bharat, a developed India by 2047 when India turns 100, we have a lot to achieve. When we talk of development, education becomes a basic paradigm. And the foundation of new knowledge and seedbeds of new knowledge happen to be our education system, and more so if we talk of the research, innovation, science and technology, it is our university system, higher education system, technical knowledge infrastructure, which will be the key pillars of taking us and make us leapfrog towards Viksit Bharat. And therefore, if we really map what we have gained so far after independence, currently lot of policy push, programs are there, meaningful partnerships are there, when there is a common purpose of taking India advance and develop in all fronts of development index. There's a sustainable development goals we talk about. And happy to share, yesterday only it was released that we have cracked into top 100 nations of under sustainable development goal achievements. This is a UN's program, and if we really take a stock, currently we are number 3 in terms of quality publications, 6th in the number of patents filing. We are the 3rd largest startup ecosystem, and other parameters I already spelled out. How do we leverage our strong pool of talented people? Therefore, in terms of research intensification, we have heard of ease of doing business. There is a ease of doing research also. There were some, you can say, hiccups and bottlenecks in research because we shifted from CNA systems, or research funding was a bit delayed and hampered. But I think for capital goods procurement, there has been a new norm which is actually facilitating ease of procurement and infrastructure for research institution. Another is One Nation, One Subscription, where open access to various publications, top-end publications, is being made possible for 6,000 plus institutions, largely public funded. But I think this will also be passed on to other institutions who are engaged in research rigor. As we speak, we are also trying to further simplify the research, you can say the whole process, which falls under the domain of ease of doing research. But at the same time, we also need to work on how do we enable ease of innovation, translation and scaling up. That is the missing piece. And if we really map the research work from the technology readiness level, there's a visible gap. How do we translate research from technology readiness level of say 5 to 7? There's a very little amount of funding available, and therefore government has thought about it. We have now Anusandhan National Research Foundation, which is focusing on enhancing the research rigor, not only confined to select public funded national institutions like IITs, IISers, NITs, but it has to democratize the research. And therefore there is a new program known as PAIR, Partnership for Accelerating research and innovation. Many institutions will be onboarded. They will be mentored by leading institutes. So that's a good program in the offing, because the role of government is to really stimulate the ecosystem. So in terms of ecosystem, as a Department of Science and Technology, which is the largest extramural funding body for research and innovation, we are trying our level best. And these days, government is also working on as a whole of government approach. If problem is big, we need no single government, no single department can solve the problem. We need to really take along the entire piece of stakeholders. So and other related government departments also. We need to have a very good collaborative model to be put in place to solve any big problem which India currently is facing. And in this regard, I'm happy to share we'll be organizing a major event between 3rd to 5th November in Bharat Mandapam, where more than 12 Government of India departments will be joining hand. It is Emerging Science and Technology Innovation Conclave, which is likely to be inaugurated by Honorable PM, and where we have to showcase who are going to be our future science leaders who will navigate India towards Viksit Bharat agenda. And that is the overarching aspirations which we are working on. And we need not forget, like research should not be confined to certain institutions. Each institution should work out their own mechanisms, how small it may be, to really enhance the research intensity and also encourage and motivate them. So I am happy to note what you have highlighted, the kind of support which from institution side is coming. And once that kind of ecosystem starts developing, it will be topped up by various Government of India programs. So there are 11 different areas of science and technology where we need to position India. You name, DST is driving top 6 missions currently: quantum mission, cyber physical, national mission of cyber physical systems. My division is spearheading 2 national missions on climate change, on sustaining Himalayan ecosystem, then also on the strategic knowledge for climate change research. Then we have another is a supercomputing mission. Very newly announced is geospatial mission. So I think these are all cross-cutting technologies. It's not like it is domain of mechanical, electrical. Now is the time when we have to solve a problem. It is a complementary and multidisciplinary approach which we need to take, and no problem can be solved unless it is designed from the concept of who is the end user. If industry is the end user, they should be on the right from the drawing board stage, they should be involved. We see what in the COVID times, it was unprecedented health crisis, and when the solutions were all getting imported, nobody had no clue. But when we sat down in one room, brainstormed, and brought doctors, pulmonologists, how to solve, because there was all ventilators were getting imported, and there we had the solution. Because we need to, if the problem is there, we have to solve it, break down into small problems. What could be the specific research or problem statements? These problem statements needs to be shared with all the, you can say, who could be part of this innovation exercise, whether it's a startup, whether it's a faculty, whether it comes from the industry. So actually that is the kind of sandpit exercise we need to do for any problem to say. And the collaborative models are the way to go. We need to really come out with that kind of research rigor, engage with right set of people who match with your intent, and who also bring the investment. So with the right intent and investment and innovation in place, I think we can solve any problem. Only thing is the overarching encouragement, motivation should come from the leaders, whether it's institutional leadership, it is from the government leadership. Fortunately, we are in the best time where government is all for it. This year, DST has been invested with an additional funding of 20,000 CR only to drive research, development and innovation, largely tailored for stimulating industrial research, and also a portion will be assigned for deep tech startups. So we now really need to prove ourselves that we can really be the champions of various technological domains. In fact, in Mission Sindoor, I'm proud to share some of the DST-supported startups were also participated, like IdeaForge drone was there. We had the first shining example where incubated startups, campus-grown incubated startups, they could show for how an idea can reach to IPO. So that same IdeaForge drone has been listed in stock exchange, and so is the EV startup from IIT Bombay, Ather Energy. So we need to really bring those champions of innovations, make them as our new role models for us, and faculty, all the faculty have a great role to play to inspire students to take up real life problems for research, because that only will enable India to really march towards the development goals which we are aspiring for. And in terms of, I could say, some of the critical pieces which we are focusing on to make India as a product nation, we have to really also think of emerging areas like AI, ML, quantum technology, computing, then semiconductors, and also one of the biggest pillars is how are we responsible towards environment. Therefore, clean energy transition becomes a very critical piece, and climate change is the biggest, you can say, global problem every country is trying to address. We have some commitments, pledges, and aspirations for 2030 and for 2047. By 2030, we want to have 50% of our installed electricity capacity through non-fossil fuels. We want, by 2047, we want to be energy secure nation, and then by 2070, we want to be net zero in terms of emissions. We are third largest emitter of GHG, carbon dioxide emissions. Therefore, how to have the low carbon pathways, low carbon technologies in variety of sectors. Currently, there are 9 national missions which are directly monitored by PM Council for Climate Change, which I am managing 2 missions. Another new mission which is coming up, which will be driven by Ministry of Road Transport, is Sustainable Transportation Mission, transition for alternate fuels which are clean, low carbon, and zero emission. So all hydrogen, EV transition, and ethanol blending, flex fuels, methanol, all will come into play under that sustainable transportation mission. So I think with these words, all the faculty, the deans who have joined for today's event, all needs to be complimented, but that doesn't stop here. You need to have a firm resolve that each faculty will inspire at least 5 students and will take up really problems which needs to be addressed through science, technology, and innovation. So identify those problems you can really contribute and be proud of. I think we need to have that each faculty at least inspires 5, and also the peer group of faculty. And I think management is already there to really support you. And if you really scale up, I think there are many supportive funding programs which will be made available. So my best wishes to all of you, as there's a famous saying, it is in Hindi, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, which our PM Atal Bihari Vajpayee had added Vigyan ke saath, and our PM Modi added Anusandhan ke saath. That means we need to really have cooperation of all of you, and we need to really scale up and ride the ladder of development through science and research. So thank you. With these words, I convey my regards to the leadership and all the faculty and the academic community who have joined for today's event. Thank you.